But typically when I'm at this weight, then I would cut out bread and sugar.
Sugar, yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I hear over and over and over again is, that people say I don't eat sugar.
Yeah.
They say that all the time. So, are we good? So, all right. Do you want us to just call you when we're ready and you can come pick it all up?
Well, only thing is this needs to keep getting reset. This is the one that goes.
Oh, it does? Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Let's see where that guy is so we can order. Oh, so you can just zoom over. Since you're there, you can kind of put it on me. Okay. So I want you to tell the story about me when 10 years ago. So start with that story.
Okay. So, I do remember that. I was at your house doing your nails and you were eating a pizza. And as you were like pretty much shoving it down, like you're eating it, you said, "So, Marie, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, for one, that pizza you're eating, I'll probably be eating that with a knife and a fork. So I'll eat it much slower than you were just eating it." And that's, because that's really, I think, what probably helps me a lot is everything I eat with a knife and a fork. So I cut it in small pieces. I cannot take big bites. I do not take big bites. I think that's what makes me eat so slow, because I take small bites and I chew my food really good. So that makes the whole process slower than and I don't know. That's what I think might help a lot. But I do remember you eating it was like whoop, whoop, 3 bites and the pizza was gone. It's like, whoa, that was fast.
Meanwhile, while I was scarfing down the pizza, I'm literally saying to you, "Now, what do you do to stay so thin?" And you're like, "First off, I start with a knife and a fork." So that's great. And so what else would you say that you do that helps you to kind of eat smaller portions?
Okay, so I eat frequent. Although sometimes I'm bad, and if I do skip on breakfast, I try not to unless I try to do an intermittent fast. But other than that, I try not to. But if I do, at 10 o'clock, my body tells me I need to eat something.
Okay.
So at 10 o'clock, I will eat something. I usually have a snack. Either most of the times it's nuts. I love almonds. I always have that with me, or it will be a little bit of plain yogurt with some.
So do you use those nuts to keep yourself from getting too, do you have those in your purse?
And I'm so used to it. Like the girl that I work with, we used to sit in the same office. She would say, I would turn around and if I forgot my nuts, she knows. I'm like, "Oh, do you have any?" She's like, "Oh, it's got to be 10 o'clock.
So 10 o'clock,
like,
is 10 o'clock when you really get hungry?
Yeah, that's when I feel like, okay, I need to eat something. Not a lot. It can be clementine or an apple or nuts. It's usually something healthy, but 10 o'clock on the clock is really when I'm
really hungry.
Okay,
and how do you know when you're hungry? What are some of the things that happen that you know, what are you feeling?
Oh, I feel it on my stomach.
So do you feel
it, and I also.
So you feel your stomach rumbling, you feel it growling, what do you feel?
It's almost like a empty feeling.
An empty feeling in your stomach?
I don't know how to describe it. Like an empty, but I know also if I don't eat something then, I start to feel kind of nauseated. So that will happen, or if I don't eat, I'll get a headache. So I know I need to eat a little bit of something.
I wonder where our waiter is. Okay, so tell us what from this menu. There is so many amazing things. What is it that you can look at this menu. What is it that you want to decide that you're going to order?
All right, since it's a lunch, I know I'm not even going to look at anything but probably the soup and the salad,
Okay.
just because I normally eat light.
A lighter
I might look
lunch.
at a starter and maybe a salad.
Okay.
If this was dinner and it was a weekend, like Saturday night, I definitely would have looked at
Pasta.
pasta, yeah, or even steak. I love steak.
So if you had to decide like if you were going to pick a healthier option or a more indulgent, would you say that's like once a week? Is it twice a week? Is it like Saturday dinner and Sunday dinner? Or like describe how many times a week would you say I'm going to pick the more indulgent option?
Probably just once a week.
Once a
when
week?
I would go with that. Yeah. Typically when I'll go out for dinner.
Like Saturday night with your husband?
Yeah, Saturday night we go out for dinner. Then I'm not gonna look at the good options. Honestly, I'm gonna go with whatever
you're
feel
craving.
like I'm craving. Yeah, what I have.
But even when you're picking the healthier option, would you say that you are still choosing like what you're craving? So it's like
Yes.
it's not like you're like, I think I should have this,
no,
right? Like
totally.
it's the healthier
Yeah.
option of what you're craving.
Yes. So like today, for instance, I do feel like having a little bit of
Steak,
meat. So the steak. So that's why I'm going with the steak option. Which the better option would probably be the
Chicken or
the
fish.
spinach. And sometimes I'm totally fine with a salad with no meat. But there are days where I just
You need
crave
it.
the meat. I want the meat, then I'm definitely gonna go with a salad that has meat in it.
So today I am eating whatever she's eating, and I'm so glad because it just happens to be like God worked it out that way. Like I really wanted that soup and I really wanted that steak salad. Like, so I know this is a little TMI, but I just finished my period, so I've lost a lot of blood.
Yeah,
So
you need the
after that, whenever that happens, like on those days, I really want steak because I need that iron. My body is telling me, why am I craving steak? Because my body needs iron. So it's so funny because when Kyle is sick, anytime he's sick, what does he crave? Orange juice. He's like, Mom, the other day, like I could tell he had a little bit of cold. What does he ask me for? He says, Mom, can I have orange juice? I'm craving it. Why? Because your body knows that's what you want. Can you think of any other examples like that where your body is craving those kind of things? So can you tell him, like, we need to order? So we can maybe just say we need to get our waiter over so we can order.
I'm trying to think. I can't think. The one thing I crave is definitely steak. Red
Meat. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Okay,
Has
we're
it come to a
ready.
decision?
Yes.
Yes, who would like to go first?
I'm gonna have the cup of the soup, the chicken.
The creamy
Cream
chicken and caramelized onion?
yeah.
Of course.
Just a cup of that
Sure.
and the filet steak salad,
How would you like the filet prepared now?
medium to rare, please.
Medium rare? Sure. And for yourself, ma'am?
I'm gonna get that filet salad. Oh, didn't you want to
Oh,
get
yeah.
the balsamic?
Yeah, the balsamic dressing. Can I have that?
Instead of
with
the Italian?
it? Yes.
Sure.
I would like to get that filet as well. The only thing I want to do is get rid of the feta cheese, and I want to, for my onion, I want grilled onions on top.
Okay.
You like grilled?
How would you like the steak?
You want grilled onions or
No,
regular
I'll take
onions?
it like it is.
I want grilled onions on top, and then my dressing, I want to do the champagne vinaigrette, please. And
How would you like the filet prepared now?
medium well. And
then-
does it
I'm
come
sorry,
with
about
croutons?
About the feta cheese? It does not.
Okay.
The feta cheese, what were you asking about that?
I don't want it.
You don't want it? Okay,
No.
good. That's-
And then caramelized onions instead.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to get a cup of that creamy onion soup, creamy chicken and onion
Okay,
soup.
sure. And
Mm-hmm.
did you want to start off with some focaccia bread as well? Or
Would you like some bread?
we make
Does the
focaccia- yeah.
chicken soup come with any kind of
Like
It has-
house
it has-
bread?
well, I can bring some house bread, yeah.
Yes.
But no, it has a Havarti crouton on top. So it's just a double
Yeah.
like cheesy crouton.
Can we just get some house
Just a
bread?
house bread would be
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, sure. I'll have your soups out in just a few moments, ladies, okay?
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Okay. So what else do you do? I know one of the things you talked about was the knife and fork to help you slow down. What else kind of helps you slow down?
You'll see when I do eat with my knife and fork, I take my time when I like eating. To me, when we go out for dinner or even dinner at night with the kids at the table, it's not a just
First
we're
to
gonna eat.
finish.
No, when we go out, we're there to spend some time just to hang out and have conversations. And it's the same at night when we sit down with the kids. It's more this is family time, so no one is in a rush to eat and be done. So when I eat with my knife and fork, I put my knife and fork, and I teach my kids the same thing. Like, put your knife and fork down when you eat. Like, don't hold it ready to go in for the next bite. Like, I'll take a bite and I'll put my knife and fork down. And when I was growing up, they actually taught us. Like my husband was telling my kids the other day about table manners, and he's like, you do not sit like this with your hands on it. You put your knife and fork and you put your hands down, actually, and that slows you
So
down.
do you
'Cause
stop? Do you like put the fork down and then like take a bite, put the fork
Yeah,
down?
I'll take a bite, and this is not with everybody. But I'll take a bite, put it down, and I kind of sit back, chew my food, swallow, and then I'll go and I'll have another bite again. See, and that's a big difference where I know a lot of Americans, which I'm American now too. But,
And where are you from originally?
South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I've noticed, you guys would cut up all your food and you put your knife down and then you sit back. And it's like, then it's a fast thing. It's like, I'm eating, where for us it's, you put your knife and fork
So
down.
with you guys, you actually just eat one bite. So you'll say, okay, so if you had a steak, you wouldn't cut up all the steak.
No.
And then you would just cut one piece of the steak.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, if let's say you had a steak and then you had green beans and potatoes, do you kind of go, okay, I'm going to eat just the potatoes and then stop, and then just the green beans and stop, and just the steak and stop? Or would you say you eat one bite of this and one bite of this and one bite of this? How do you usually
No,
do
I'll
it?
eat one bite, or sometimes even
Mix it.
mix it. Yeah.
Okay. And then would you say that you are, is there any tricks that you have as far as, if you want to eat more? One of the girls said this amazing line to me. It was I need to put this on the cover. And this is what she said. She said, I eat whatever I want, but I don't eat as much as I want. Isn't that so
Yeah.
good? I was like, oh my God,
And this
I need to write this down.
That is very true. And what I also do is my first serving, if I have to serve myself, if there's food out I serve,
Okay.
my first serving is always small. I always start with a small serving because I think that's also a bad thing, because we've learned you eat what's on your plate.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to put too much food on my plate to begin with. I'd rather, if I'm really hungry still, I'll get more. But if I have that much food on my plate to begin with, it's easy to keep eating. It's easy to, when you eat and there's still food, you might be actually full, but since it's just there, you're just gonna eat it. But so definitely portions is a big thing. Thank you.
So, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Enjoy.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna say a prayer for our
Thank
food,
you.
okay? Lord, thank you for Mart Marie, and I thank you so much that she just has the willingness to help other people, and she has helped me so much. I'm gonna start crying because she is one of the people that really, really helped me to understand how to eat like a thin person. And so after all these years, I'm grateful that we get to connect, and I know that she's going to help a lot of people with them in helping their food issues. And so thank you that she's sharing this with other people so that they can grow, and I pray that the people who listen to this can really help them. God, thank you that we just get to spend time together and just reconnect. I pray that you would help me to eat very slow, just like her, and that we would not overeat, and that we would just have a great time. We love you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so I'm not going to eat the croutons only because I don't feel good when I don't eat it, but the rest of it I will eat just like you. So
yeah, that is definitely, even when I do feel like having a piece of steak, if my husband grills out steak, I always go for the smallest piece of steak
okay.
on the plate. I do not go for the big one, because if it's on my plate, I'm probably going to eat it.
Okay.
And that was also a big adjustment for me when we moved here. When we first got here and we go to a restaurant and they bring the food out, we were like, are you serious? Is this for one person? Like, we just felt the portions were so big, but now we got used to it, unfortunately. But so in a
So in
restaurant,
South Africa,
in
they
the
don't give you
restaurant,
those kind of
control
portions.
it.
They don't give you those
No.
kind of portions.
Like, and for instance, if I have soup, I'll probably always go for the cup instead of the bowl. If I have the bowl, I'm probably going to eat it, and then I feel uncomfortable
Terrible.
afterwards. If I get a coffee at Starbucks, I don't think I've ever got a bigger than a tall coffee ever. I know it's just a few cents more. It's not about the price, but it's just, for me, it's the principle of I don't need to get a venti.
Right.
The other day, that guy actually misheard me, which is really difficult. I don't know why he doesn't understand my accent. But, no, I'm kidding. But I ordered a Frappuccino, and I got to the drive-thru, and he handed it to me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that can't be mine. And he's like, yeah, it is. Oh my word, how am I gonna finish this thing? That's literally the first time that I've had the big one, whatever that is. It's like, oh my goodness, I cannot finish it. But I did.
Like that's like, I think it goes like tall, grande. I can't remember because I don't.
Venti, I think.
Venti, yeah, venti.
Yeah, that must have been venti. And I literally thought, there's no ways I can finish it. The problem is I did, just because
It was there.
it was there. I was like, kept drinking. Before I know it, I finished it. So that is, if you can, like.
Okay, so like I just noticed something. So look, I started to take my first bite, right? So I went like this, right? And I just noticed. Hold on, let me.
I take small bites.
I look over, and you went like this. You didn't even take that
That's
much.
right, yeah.
You went like this, right? Wow. See what I'm saying? This is the kind of stuff that you only learn. That's what I'm talking
And a lot
about.
of time it's more about the taste of the food than it is about the amount of food that you eat. You don't need, your body doesn't need that much food. You don't really don't. It's
No.
just, and I think you get satisfied much quicker if you
My bites are already still way too big than yours.
if you eat, slower.
How was your soup, ladies?
Very good.
Good. Enjoy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go in for the crouton.
Okay.
Like crouton.
So let's talk about how you decide what you go for on your plate. So here's a perfect example. Some people who are heavy, they first eat.
Do you want some?
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
So go ahead and have some. So the first thing they do is they eat the vegetables because they think they should. So they'll say, I'll fill up first on salad or fill up on the greens, or I'll eat my green beans because that's what I think I should have. How would you respond to that? Would you say, no, I look at my plate and I say, I want to eat the steak because that's what I want first. How would you say you do it?
Sorry. Not too long, like I said. No, if I order steak and that's what I feel like, I'm gonna go for the steak.
Steak first, yes.
Yeah. Because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna eat the other food, but I'm still gonna crave the steak.
Right.
I'm probably gonna end up overeating. I'd rather fill up on that, whatever I was craving, and not have space for the rest.
Well, already I've learned so far that, I don't think I've ever, when I've eaten a bowl of soup, this is my bite of soup. I've never in my life went like this. So already you're still teaching me stuff even after all these years. Look, I can't even get it that small. I'm trying. It's like difficult. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
So now how do you decide if you're eating the bread or not eating the bread?
So today I'm eating it just because I
Feel like it?
If this was tomorrow when I'm starting to watch what I'm eating, I wouldn't eat the bread.
Okay.
I wouldn't even ask for the bread.
Okay.
I would stick with just the soup. Because bread would be one of the first things that I'm cutting out.
So let's talk about one of the things you've talked about to me in the past is this idea of you have a weight range that you allow yourself to be in, and what you allow yourself to have and not allow yourself to have. So talk to me a little bit about what that looks like.
Okay, so my weight range is between 5 and 6 pounds. I have a minimum, and I don't really like to go below the minimum as well. And that only happens when I'm training for a marathon, or training for, which I haven't done in a while, but that tends to happen then.
So let's talk about that minimum for just a second, because I can't imagine myself. I can't imagine myself ever saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm too skinny." But talk about that.
Well, I'm getting older, so I'm, when I get to that, which I haven't been there for a while, because I haven't trained for anything serious in a while. But I tend to do that when I start running long distances. I just start to lose too
weight.
much. Yeah, and the reason why I know I shouldn't lose more is when my mom says, "What's wrong with you? You look sick. Are you okay?" People tell me, they see me, because I lose a lot in my face. And I
feel that way too,
jawline,
yeah.
so I lose this.
Yes.
And then I just look more wrinkly
Older.
and
You look older.
And
That's how I do.
yeah, people look at me and they're like, "You need to stop. You can't
Yeah.
lose." Yeah,
Makes sense.
I haven't had that in a while, but that's what would happen. And then I have a maximum weight, and that's about 5 to 6 pounds more than my minimum. And when I'm in the middle,
You're fine.
I'm watching.
Oh, you just start
that's
watching.
When you know, really watch what I eat during the week, but on weekends I'll still have a drink, I'll have my wine, and I won't be as, strict
So-
about what I eat. But when I get to my max, which I am now, by the way, then it's like, okay, this is it. This needs to go. Then I stop, and then I'm really gonna.
Okay.
Now.
So we're going to just make up a weight. Let's just pretend that someone says 130 is my minimum, and they say 140. Wait, no. If 130 was my minimum, then 135 would be my maximum. Is
Yeah,
that kind of around?
135,
Okay. So
136, yeah.
what kind of behaviors happen when if someone said, okay, I'm at 130 right now, I'm at my minimum weight. So what would the behaviors be like?
It's really not much different than what it is for me at my weight. I keep my eating style stays the same. I still don't indulge during the week. When I say that, I mean every now and then if we'll go out or whatever, then I would eat what I want, but we typically don't go. I cook
Meals.
during the week. I cook meals.
Okay.
And my lunches are small, they're kind of the same. So it really stays the same, but on weekends, honestly, the difference comes in when I am at my max. When I'm at my minimum, I just eat
So
what
right
I
now
normally
you would
eat.
say you're at your max.
I am, yeah. And now I'm gonna say, okay, this is it. I need to change my habits now. Now I'm gonna start cutting out bread, or starch, really, all the white stuff, floury stuff, and I will cut out sugar.
Okay. So now would you say you limit your sugar, or would you say you cut it out completely?
No, I start with limiting it.
Just
because
limiting it.
I am
A sweets person.
not. I'm actually not. I'm more a salty person, like chips, and that's my downfall.
Okay.
So all that will be cut out. But
So do you cut out or limit it?
Limit. Limit. Cutting out. I can't restrict myself that much to a diet because then I won't. It's not gonna last.
So you just
So
cut back a
limit, so I'll
little.
still have like nuts. I'm just gonna make better choices. But things like chips and that, I'm gonna cut out.
So
when I'm at my
even-
max, I'm gonna cut it out. It's
So-
not gonna.
So one time you were at my house, and I remember watching you eat some chips, and I was like, wow. Like, because you know how I eat chips is like. So I wish we had some chips here, because I want you to try to explain the way that you eat chips. Well, I remember watching you eat chips, and it was amazing because you would take the chip and you literally like broke the chip in a third. So like the chip's already only that big.
To me, they're pretty big. I'm telling you, I take small bites.
So yeah, it goes back to those bites. But so you would take that chip and you took about 3 to 4 bites. You broke off the chip, you ate the chip, then you waited, then you broke off another little piece
You have a good memory.
and put it in your mouth. And so I remember watching you do that, and I was like, wow. Just like this soup. This is another example. Like I don't.
Is this stuff hard for you?
Yeah, it's like, just looking at how to eat that is just.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Let's talk about water and drinking with your meals for just a second. One of the things they say is that, you have digestive enzymes in your stomach, right? And so you want to keep that stomach acid in your stomach. So I wish he didn't fill up my glass. I should tell him next time. If he tries to come, just say. But because I like to watch how much water I drink. Because if you drink too much water, it can,
Wash it out,
wash
yeah.
out those
Yeah, the
digestive
good stuff, yeah.
enzymes. So, what is your policy on drinking water with your meals? Like, do you take a sip after every bite, or take a baby sip, or maybe would you drink half a glass of water, or one glass with the whole meal?
I am probably not the best example when it gets to that. I drink water throughout my day.
Mm-hmm.
I drink water in the mornings when I work out, and then I drink water throughout the day. And with my lunch, I'll probably drink half
a glass.
I do not drink a whole glass. I will drink water just before lunch, but during lunch, I don't drink that much. And same with dinner. I don't drink a lot of water during when I
Just half a glass would probably be about
Yeah.
how much water
Yeah.
you drink. So, what's so crazy is like with this soup, eating it so slow.
It doesn't feel slow to me.
For me, it seems very slow,
Yeah.
but you start to like. I'm already starting to be like, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah.
You've
got the taste for it.
You've got a taste
you got
for
that
it.
Part. Yeah.
You got the taste in there, so now I don't have to eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, as far as like when you get a cup of soup, this one's pretty rich. This soup is very rich.
It is.
Would you say in general, do you think you'll have all of the soup, do half of the cup? What would you say you would probably eat?
This is very rich. So probably not the whole.
Not
Like
the whole thing.
I'm honestly I'm
Done.
done now.
Okay, so I am too. So let me
Yeah.
just see how much you took. I
That's
think
about-
mine's
I
a
think
little
it's the
higher.
same.
I'm gonna have one more bite and then call it a day. Now let me ask you this, because we didn't talk about this. So one of the things we talked about is how you like to make sure that you're getting. So like, would you kind of look in here? Zell, come in and zoom in on my soup real quick. So I see you kind of like looking around in the soup for like a good bite. So would you kind of look around in here and say, okay, well, I want to make sure that I get a little bit of onion and a little bit of chicken in that bite? Or would you try to say, I want to figure out how to get the smallest bite I can?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really. I just take a small bite and that's it. I don't really need to get.
Too advanced.
And it depends on the soup too. Like this one is really rich, so I don't care to get anything else. Like I really don't. If I eat a minestrone soup or something
Then you might
else,
pick it
yeah,
out.
I might want to get. I want to get a little bit of
Pasta or the
Yeah,
bean.
yeah.
Or this one's kind of all mished together anyway, so it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. You're not getting anything extra
No.
from that flavor. Okay, perfect. Talk about what goes through your mind. So like, I feel the same way. Like I feel like I'm satisfied here with this soup. Like I got enough of it.
Yeah.
But what if you can try to explain the emotions and the things that are going on in your head that makes you go, how do you know that
had
that's enough for me right now?
That is hard to tell because I just feel it. I just feel. I don't feel the
You feel satisfied.
satisfied. I don't feel hungry anymore. Like even if we don't have salad
now.
I'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't crave. Maybe just because this was pretty rich.
So rich, yeah.
So now I'm not craving anything anymore.
Right.
Like I'm done. Like the bread, I took the one small
Oh
piece.
yeah, so that's good. We need to zoom in on that.
And and this is one thing that drives my family nuts. My boys have to clean the table, and this drives. They're like, really? You couldn't just eat that? If I'm satisfied, I'm satisfied. I would leave a piece like that in my plate. I would
Yes.
really leave a piece of steak that's that big in my plate. And I just feel like, well, I'm full. I'm not gonna eat that last piece just because it's there. If I feel like
So?
I'm full. I'm full.
You need to-
Look, I made a mess.
Is it the battery's dead?
It's not, but you can keep going.
Can you just text Josh and get him to come out?
No, I have it in my car.
Oh, you have it. Okay, go ahead. So it's still rolling then. Okay. So let's talk about. So like, is there any other tricks that you do? Let's say it's something that you really love. Okay, we're talking about something that you're like what is your favorite? Like, tell me something
Okay,
new. What is
it's-
something you're like? This is my absolute like favorite. I don't get it very
Okay.
often, but I love it. What is that
Okay,
for
I
you?
can think of something. Unfortunately, it's not something I get here, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a dessert that my mom makes.
Okay.
I literally feels like I can eat that whole thing by myself.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Okay.
But
What's the name of it?
peppermint crisp tart.
Wait, peppermint crisp
Tart.
tart. Okay.
yeah.
What's in it?
It is.
Soup, ladies.
Oh,
Thank you.
Are you still enjoying the soup, or were you?
I'm
done.
gonna
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna box mine up, please. You want to box yours? Take it to go.
No, thanks.
No?
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so this is so overwhelming for me.
Yes.
Like, this is
You
huge.
want grilled onions?
Thank you.
cheese. I'll get that box up for you, man.
Okay. Looks good.
It does
Okay.
look good, but it's
Do we want to get a steak knife? Maybe a steak knife.
yeah. This one's got quite a roll. Which salad dressing did you take?
I took the champagne vinaigrette.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I think
That's what I'm wondering. But I might have.
Let me
to roll
taste
some
this.
in. I don't know.
No, let's see.
No, because mine has feta, so this must be mine. Mine is right. Mine's the
Is
little
yours balsamic? Okay. I think mine's right.
Okay, so. Yeah, this can be 2 meals for me.
We should have got one to share.
Yeah. Okay, what did you ask me? Let me think. What is the question? What?
I
started
said your
explaining
favorite
something.
meal
Oh,
that
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, this is.
Okay, so
this
I
is
know
amazing.
In order for me,
Can you zoom in on our salads?
mine is getting back to the small portion again.
Mm.
Like, I know when I dish a piece of the my dessert,
Mm-hmm.
I need to start with a small slice because I will eat.
Too much.
I will eat everything that's
Mm-hmm.
on my plate with that. I can't stop with that. I'll,
So what's gonna be your first? What is gonna be your first bite of what you're gonna take?
the steak.
But you're
Steak
gonna.
with a little bit of salad.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Got it.
Okay.
This will be mine. First one. A little bit of this. I cannot eat a whole piece of it.
Let me cut this in half
Yeah.
and put a little bit
that
of.
will be a bite for me.
Does that look pretty good? That steak is good.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Enjoy, ladies.
Thanks.
Okay.
And I will probably go for the things that I like the least last.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. Which is, in this case, I eat tomato. I don't have a problem with tomato, but that's not my favorite.
It's mine either.
So I'm probably
Just gonna
eat that.
not eat them at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially since I know I'm not
that hungry.
I'm not hungry at all anymore, so I'm just gonna go with. I do like cucumber. Struggle.
And how many times would you say you chew your food?
I don't know. I don't count. That's hard to say.
Probably like 15 to 20 at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, it's
Like
so
a cow.
crazy because like just eating this slow with you, there's no way I would have been eating this slow without you. And I know that I would be eating way more without sitting here with you because of how small these bites are.
The biggest problem with that is time.
Time.
Like if you're always in a rush
Always in a rush.
and you know I don't have time to eat, I need to get it, I need to. That's why when I go out for dinner, we always have time. We go
Right.
out because it's a treat. If we're there all night, then
That's fine.
be it. Yeah.
The waiter might not be happy, but who
Yeah.
cares, right?
So that's why I am careful what I eat for lunch. Because I don't have a lot of time for lunch. I need to really eat small portions for lunch. Because that's the only time when I'll eat a little faster.
So talk to me a little bit about what is a typical lunch for you? So when you're at home and you work outside the office or at home?
At the office.
Okay, out at the office. So
Yeah.
when you're at the office, do you bring your lunch to work?
Yeah, most of the times it will be either leftover from the night before.
Okay.
When it's not, when I don't have leftover, I'll get like a soup from Chick-fil-A. The chicken noodle soup from Chick-fil-A. Or we'll get,
And will you eat the whole thing?
if I get the small one, it's like a side, it's like a cup. Yeah, then I'll eat the whole one. Or I'll get a salad, Panera salad. I can never eat the whole
Okay.
salad.
So how much of it would you say you eat?
Maybe half. I'd say if you do like pick two, the size salad that you get with the pick two, that's what that would be the size salad that I'll get.
So if you get the pick two, would you eat half and half of each? Or would you eat the whole?
Sometimes I'll split it with my husband. He'll eat the one and I'll eat the other. Or I'll eat. Yeah, probably. But not most of the times that's just too big for me to eat. But yeah, I would say half. Half the one and half the other one. Sometimes I'll just leave the salad for the next day. I don't put the dressing over. So I'll have. Oh yeah, she doesn't want it.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to track how much water I'm drinking. No,
No. Okay. How is everything prepared though? Is everything cooked
very
already?
good.
Enjoy your lunch.
We will need to get both of a box for both
Let me know
of
when
these.
you're ready, but enjoy
Okay.
your lunch, okay?
Okay,
Thank you. He's thinking, well, you haven't even touched it. But I'm honestly, like, I'm almost like totally full. I'm full. Are you? I'm almost there. So,
So if I would order pick two, I would eat the sandwich, and by the time I'm done with the sandwich, I'll be like, I'm full. I can't eat the salad now, and I'll just keep that same salad for the next day for lunch. If I am at my maximum weight, like when I need to watch, then I'll typically have for lunch. I'll have cold like turkey, a few slices of cucumber, Maybe some cottage cheese. It will be like a really light meal. Sometimes I'll have like because we are close to Noodle and Company. I will have pasta, but it will be the small size, the smaller size they have.
So like it's trying to get the bites so small is like a full-time job here. So you just get so
Yeah,
exhausted.
See, but if you take just the fork, it's so easy to just go like
Oh
this
yes.
and
And you would never take a bite like that. Never.
I can't.
Now let's talk about I want you to just create a scale, a hunger scale. You could do it, you create your own. I have my own, but I want you to just create your own. And I want you to say, you can either make it a 10-point scale or a 5-point scale and kind of say, okay, well, like 0 would be ravenous, and however you want to make your scale. I want you to create a scale and tell me when you start eating and when you stop eating.
Okay, let's say I am 5 would be ravenous, like I need to eat something right now. And that's hard to say because like typically I would stop eating now.
Okay, so if that's what you would stop, then
Yeah.
stop. Because I'm honestly, I'm good. I kind of want
And
one
that's
more
the
bite of
thing.
onion and one more steak. So I
And
think I'll
that's
have.
the thing. If I have a plate that's so full of food in front of me, if we keep sitting there, I'm probably gonna keep picking at it.
So
Like I'm gonna keep picking, like oh, I have a little, and then I'm gonna be too full.
okay,
Like I'm now at a point where I'm not uncomfortable. I don't feel like
right.
I still feel fine, but I feel like okay, I've actually had enough.
Okay, so perfect. So now let me ask you this: do you have any room for a couple bites of dessert?
No. I do not. And sometimes I have to be honest to tell you this too. I'll go to a restaurant and I really, sometimes you crave something sweet so bad. I'm like, I know this place has the best creme brulee.
Okay.
I'm going to want a creme brulee. I would adjust what I'm going to eat because I know by the time I'm done eating, no matter how much I want that creme brulee, I'm not going to get it because I'm going to be too full.
Okay.
But if I know that's what
Ooh,
I feel
that's
like
so
going,
good.
Like if I come here on a Saturday and I'm like, I can't wait to eat the creme brulee. I'm probably gonna have a light, like a salad for dinner, like a very light one, and not eat all of it, just so I know I have space for my creme brulee.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So I'm going to give you a scale, a hunger scale that I'm just going to create. Sure.
If you don't mind, I just
Yeah.
need to let them know
Yeah.
I'm running late.
I sent you a text that I just ignore. I said come to Aldo's, but just ignored that was after. Sir, we can go ahead and box this up.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Pardon me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
ma'am. You're very welcome.
So, as far as desserts go, like, how many bites of a dessert would you say that you normally eat? If you had to
3 or
ask
4.
3 or 4 bites? Okay.
I hardly ever would order one just for myself because really by the time when you get to dessert, there's no way I can eat any of the desserts by myself. So I always split it with someone. Even a creme brulee, have to.
So,
But I never just just for the record, because I don't like dieting and I don't like to, I'm not depriving myself. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna have that at all. I still have it. I go because it's the taste that I'm after.
So do you ever want something sweet, like even right now? Do you, like, for me, I would love to have one bite of something sweet.
Yes, especially a lot of times after dinner.
So if
I'm
we
like,
got a
ooh.
dessert, would you eat one bite of it?
Yeah.
So let's order something and we'll eat one bite.
Okay, we can. We're gonna waste it, but okay. Yeah,
We
I'll
can
have
take
one
it
bite.
home.
That's why when I walk out,
You'll take a mint.
Yeah. Oh, the little Andes, those are the best. Oh, what do they have at Olive Garden? That's also.
Oh, yes. So if you go to Olive Garden, what would you eat when you go there?
You always get the soup and salad,
Okay.
the combination.
Okay. And then how much of it would you eat? Like, are they refilling it for you?
I always go in thinking I'm gonna try different ones, and then I end up eating
The same one.
just this super Toscana, and that's it. Yeah.
So let's talk about that hunger scale. I'm gonna give you a 5-point scale. So let's say that zero is like you're ravenously hungry, like you're so hungry you don't know what to do. Let's say 1 is your stomach is growling, you are hungry. 2 would just be like you're pretty hungry.
Okay.
3 is you're not hungry, you're not full. 4 is you're satisfied. And 5 is you're stuffed. I think we are going to get dessert. We're going to pick one dessert to share.
Here we are. The featured dessert today, our seasonal cheesecake, is our limoncello infused cheesecake. It's going to be topped with a mixed berry compote this afternoon, along with whipped cream. We
What's
also
your
have-
number one selling dessert? The
It's a hit or
Napoleon?
miss. The Napoleon's pretty good. The chocolate ganache cake is also very good, and the coconut cake.
Oh, that's
so
right, I
between
do.
those three, it's pretty much a neck and neck sort
The
of.
Napoleon is good.
The
Napoleon's
is
really good. It's my favorite. So
Yeah.
let's get that.
Great.
Okay,
Any
we'll
coffee
get-
or cappuccino, ladies.
Oh, cappuccino. please.
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino? What's in the cappuccino?
It's just espresso, heavy cream. Oh, actually, we use milk and stuff, and then a little bit of foam. So it's.
I'm
maybe
getting
like 2
I'm getting
ounces.
everything she's getting, so I'll get a cappuccino.
Sounds good. All right, I'll have the dessert out in just a moment. All right, thank you, ladies.
So let's talk about that
Probably
because
looking at
that's
why
a
would- why
perfect
should
that's
do
a
that?
He's like, okay, whack-a-mole. He's like, she's like, I'll have the soup. I'm like, oh, I'll have the soup. I'll have the filet. Oh, I'll have the filet. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about that for just a second. We'll go back to the other. So, like, one of the things that I remember you saying to me is that to help you stop eating, there's certain things that you might say, okay, I really want more, but I'm gonna stop. This will help me stop. Whether it's like gum or coffee, what are the things
Okay.
for you that you talked to me about before, where you said
It's
like,
actually exactly the 2 things that you have mentioned now. Like even now when you ask me if I would have a dessert, I do feel like something sweet, but instead of having something sweet,
I'll have coffee.
I will have coffee. I will, I will wait a little bit and then I'm gonna have a coffee, and the coffee will do it for me. And the gum is my second one. When I feel like I'm craving something sweet now and I really want it, I just
Put in a
have
gum.
And that normally.
So you also told me one time mints, right? Like at the end,
Yeah.
the end of your meal,
Yeah, like I
you'll
said now, when
the
I walk
mints.
out, the mints,
So
they
mints,
give
gum, perfect. Okay, so let's talk about that hunger scale right now,
Okay.
and we will say like on a scale of, so like even use like So 4 is satisfied, right? So how do you decide? Is it like, do you say, I'm going to stop at a 3.8, I'm going to stop at a 3.9, I'm going to stop right at 4, or do you go, I know I'm going to be fuller later, so I'm going to stop at 3.7? So like on that scale I just talked about, so it'd be 0, I'm ravenous, 1, I'm like really hungry, 2, I'm hungry, 3, I'm not hungry, I'm not full, 4, I'm satisfied, and 5, I'm Thanksgiving Day stuffed.
Yeah.
So, using that metric, where would you say that you normally start eating, and where do you say that you normally stop eating? So, repeat back what I said.
Okay. I would typically start eating at a 2 or a 3 even.
Okay.
I don't wait till I am
So hungry.
No.
So that would be a 2. 2 is hungry.
Okay.
It's hungry but not
all right.
ravenous.
Okay, that will definitely be. I'll eat when obviously when I'm ravenous, I'll eat because then I'm just. But that is.
Do you feel
other
like you overeat when you
circumstances.
do that? When you
Yes,
get to ravenous?
Always when I feel like that and I eat, I feel like I overeat and I always feel terrible afterwards. So I typically don't let my body, even when I get home, that's typically when I'm really hungry, is when I know it's going to take me an hour or 2 before the kids get home, before we can eat, and I make dinner. I have something then, just
So talk
to
about-
take that away, so I don't feel like.
So I know
eat
you've
alone.
talked to me before about these hunger snacks that you call, that you say, hey, these are things that I put. So talk about what are those things that you either keep in your purse or that you will eat when you go, I don't want to be ravenous. I want to make sure that I'm not ravenous. I want to make sure I'm hungry, but not so hungry. What are those things that you do to keep the edge off?
All right, I will typically have, like I said before, nuts. I always have nuts.
So do you have nuts in your purse now?
I don't. I have it in my office.
In your
I keep
office,
it in
okay.
my office in the drawer, and I have some at home.
Okay. What kind of nuts?
I like almonds.
Almonds, like
Yeah,
raw
just the plain
almonds.
raw almonds.
Land. That's my mom does that too.
Thank you.
Ooh, that looks good. Can
I'll
you
have
zoom in
that.
on this though?
That does look good.
So now, are you going to use this at all?
I'm gonna taste it first.
Okay, so
I
I'm going to do
probably-
whatever you do. So,
There you go. This looks
Okay.
pretty good too.
wow,
Jordan Napoleon.
thank you.
So to get back to the, after I would not ever have ordered this today because I'm full enough that I would not. I'm
But
like
this you
looking
would
at
have.
that,
But this you would
but
have.
This I would, yeah.
Right.
This would be my dessert. I would look at this and think,
What a
how
waste.
in
How am
the
I going
world
to eat all of
I'm
it?
gonna feel.
Too
I'm gonna
full.
be at 5.
But if you
I have
only,
to
but
eat
if you,
that.
but if you, so right now, let's talk about that. So back to the hunger scale. Right now, where are you at? Are you at a 3.8, 3.9, 3.7,
Probably
4?
a 3 between a 3. I would say a 3.8.
You're at a 3.8 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So one bite of that and drinking this will probably get you right to 4.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I
Right?
don't need to be at a 4. I'm happy with.
A 3.8.
Yeah.
I like
'Cause
that.
Even after the coffee, I'm gonna be
At a 3.9.
totally, yeah.
So this would get you to a 3.9, which is where you want to be, and that would get you to a 4. And 4 is
That might
satisfied.
put me over a 4.
That might put you up, like, even the one bite.
Maybe not one bite. No, one bite will be fine.
Okay, so are you gonna have one
Yeah,
bite?
I-
Okay, let me see.
I am. But so this is very good. See, that's the problem. I'll probably have more than one bite, and then I'm gonna regret it. I'm gonna be like, oh, I shouldn't have had that last bite.
So, like, for me, let's talk about this, because when I'm looking at this, for me, my favorite bite, I really like the whipped cream part, so I'm gonna focus on that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna really get that whipped cream part. Do you think this is, hold on, let me get my bite. Let's see if you think it's too big. Does that look too big?
It looks a little big, but not.
Not too bad?
Overly.
Okay.
Dessert, you can kind of go a little bigger just to get all the.
That is so
See, that
good.
is so good. See, and then I'll have more because it's so good. But
Okay, so we'll have this cappuccino.
and this is perfect just the way it is. I think.
Yes, you don't need this. So I'm gonna take.
Especially not if I have something sweet.
I'll take this for Kyle. He likes
Okay.
these things, so we'll put that for him as a treat. Yeah. So this is back to what you said. Coffee really helps you be done.
Yeah.
The coffee, the mints. Is there anything else that you do that really helps you kind of go, I'm done? Like, do you feel like anything about packing up? Like, we asked that guy to take our food. Instead of continuing to pick at it?
Yeah,
will you-
it needs to get out of the way. Like, yeah, because I'll be like already full, but if it's standing, you know, if you're sitting and talking to someone and you're watching the food and it's still there, you know, it's easy to start like picking on it. When I'm done, it needs to go. It needs to not stay in front of me.
Okay, so I'm gonna take one more bite of this and then I'm gonna be done.
Take another one too,
I'm gonna take one last bite and then we're gonna tell him to pack it up.
because it is good.
They have very good desserts here.
I know, I remember this one. I haven't had this in a long time.
The good news is, as me and you like a lot of the same foods,
Oh, so good.
like we could have really shared that salad today. You
Yeah.
know, we could have
Yeah.
just shared it. But then we won't have dinner tonight, so
That's
now we
right.
can have that for dinner.
That's right.
Now, will you drink all of this coffee or will you drink part of it?
I can't tell.
You'll just wait to see.
Yeah.
Wait to see how you feel.
Sometimes I pour a cup and I'm like,
Again, it
oh,
looks
it
at your
tastes so good, I
fullness.
can't wait to
'Cause this
drink
is
whole
filling
cup.
too.
And then I get halfway and I'm like,
I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk
I
about.
can get my finger in.
Yeah, it's really small, small cups. Let's talk about how much coffee do you drink in a day? Would you say you drink 1 cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee?
I typically drink 2 cups, definitely 2 cups, and sometimes 3. So I typically have my first cup in the morning. It depends if I work out. Mornings when I work out, I do not have coffee first thing in the morning.
Okay.
I have it as soon as I get to the office. I'll have a cup of coffee, and then at 10 o'clock I'll have a snack. And then I have another cup of coffee at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
So that's good. So that in your slump at the 2 o'clock hour, it's like, okay, I need a little pick me up. Instead of eating food, you're going to have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. So let's talk about, so I'm like right now, I have my supplements that I take on a daily basis. Do you have any vitamins or anything like that that you do take on?
No, and this is the part that you're probably gonna have to cut out because I do not.
Oh, that's fine. It's
I'm
totally
bad.
no.
I'm not.
You know, the thing is that you don't. If you don't need it, you shouldn't take it.
Well, no, I probably should. I probably need some of it. I usually have, if I get a deficiency, it's usually vitamin D. My stomach just doesn't sit well. With
Doesn't well,
any-
yes.
any
So
vitamins.
the only vitamins I take. So if you read this, it's raw whole food based. It's vegan. It's gluten free. No magnesium stearate. And so if you look at the ingredients and what is in this, okay, it's raw whole food sprout powder, organic quinoa, organic raw probiotic, like everything in here, it's nothing but whole fruits. So like freeze-dried acai, food pomegranate juice powder,
Yeah.
whole food pomegranate juice powder. So there,
all
it's
natural.
there's no, so like even in here, look at what's in here. Berry extract, cherry extract, berry extract, buckwheat berry sprouts, freeze-dried berry blend, blueberry, raspberry, cherry, rose hips fruit, lemon peel, black pepper berry extract. So every bit of what's in here, so like if I feel like I'm getting a cold or if I feel like I just need extra,
Yeah.
I'll take it, but I'm very, very careful because I'll get sick as a dog. Like for me, if you get nauseous after you eat a vitamin, that means that the reason why, because see how it says no magnesium stearate? If I take a vitamin that has magnesium stearate, I'll just feel nauseous.
Yeah, see, and that's my thing because I struggle with, I have, muscle problems, and magnesium is what I need to take. And I can't do it.
So it's only because you're taking the wrong one.
Okay.
Yeah, so anything that any supplement that like if I tell you to take this supplement, it will be, you won't feel sick because anything I tell you to take is only whole foods. It's like they literally take like acai, they freeze dry it, and then they take the powder and then chop it up and put it inside a capsule. So it's just so much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead and you go. I'm just going to pay for the check. So you go. Zell can take me back to the. Or Zell, I'll just ride back with you, and Zell, you'll pay